And we read in verse 9, and so from the day we heard, we have not ceased to pray for you. That's the first part of verse 9. And we see here how the Colossians were in Paul's heart. They weighed heavily on his heart. And what did he do with this knowledge of what was going on in Colossians? He went to prayer. He never stopped ceasing to pray for them, and the same thing for us when we are thinking about somebody or a situation. We need to be going to the Lord in prayer and continuously, even when we are maybe anxious or becoming anxious, we need to pray for the situation. I remember when I learned what pray without ceasing meant, which is in another of Paul's letters, and it was a situation that was very difficult for me. It was many years ago when the our first child went into college. You see, we raised them in Mexico City in the field there as we were planting churches, and we homeschooled our children, and now the first one was going off to college. Well, he was already in college. He was in Texas, and we were in Mexico City, a different country, and for him a different country, a different culture and everything. And honestly, I can tell you that I was becoming more anxious about him being there. And not only that, but even I was becoming depressed. And I knew that that was not the way God wanted me to live. I remember that seeing his empty bed was difficult for me. Seeing his clothes that he left in his closet was difficult for me. Seeing his drum set that he used to play was difficult for me. And so what was I gonna do with these feelings? God taught me through this situation that I needed to be in prayer. So every time I was missing my son, I went to the Lord in prayer, and I went to the Lord in prayer. Let me tell you that caused my prayer life to become stronger and to become more alive. And so from that time on, I remember that this was a good lesson that I learned, that every time I had anxiety, I was becoming apprehensive about something, or even depressed, I have learned to go to the Lord in prayer because of these situations weighing heavily in my heart. And so the same thing that we see with Paul here, the Colossians were in his heart, and the Colossians weighed heavily on his heart. And what did he do about it? He prayed. He said, I did not cease praying for you. That's what you and I need to do.